guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to share with you a one brand tutorial using a new makeup brand that is really affordable, and the brand is called COL-LAB, and they're available at Sally Beauty Supply in stores and online, and they're actually sponsoring this video, so thank you to COL-LAB for sponsoring this video. I'm super excited to share this with you guys because I love doing one brand tutorials and sharing also affordable products so you guys can see like a bunch of different products from one brand. And this is a brand that was created in collaboration with 8 different influencers, beauty YouTubers, and Instagrammers, and they're all very different. So that's really interesting because they all have very different like preferences in makeup, whether it's like cool tone, warm, something really glam, something really natural. You have a lot of different voices in there to help create this brand. And somebody who I've been following for years is Coffee Break with Dani. I watch every single one of her videos, so I was really familiar with the brand and really interested in it from seeing her videos with COL-LAB and seeing her vlogs with COL-LAB. And there were certain products I was really interested in testing out that she recommended, so I'm going to be sharing those in this video. And also there's a ton of different products in this brand. There's over 200 products, so I'm going to be sharing a lot of my different favorites, but there's so many more products if you guys want to check them out. I will leave all the details about COL-LAB in my description box. What's awesome is they are also cruelty-free and available in the US and Canada. So if you guys are interested in purchasing from them, all the details will be in my description box, as well as all of the influencers that collaborated with COL-LAB. So if you guys are interested in seeing my one brand tutorial using all COL-LAB products, everything, primer, brows, everything from COL-LAB, then just keep on watching. Alright, so I'm going to get started with my brows, and I'm going to use the Shape and Shade brow pencil in the shade Ash Brown. So this is a brow pencil that has the pencil on one side and a spoolie on the other side to comb out your brows. And I really like this pencil. I've been using it for like a solid week now, and I've really liked it because it's more waxy, and that always looks like a little bit more realistic when you're filling in your brows. At least for me, because I do have naturally thinner brows, so you can get more like hair, like really fine strokes with this. And I always do my brows off camera because they usually take a while, and I do have like at the end of my brow a lot of missing hairs right here, so it can take me a little while to fill it. But this pencil is like super thin, so you can get like a really precise line. So I have one brow on, you guys can see the difference, and I really like this color because it's more cool tone, but it's definitely not gray either. It's like a perfect match for my brows, because sometimes really dark shades look like really harsh. So brows are on, and I'm moving into primer. I'm using the Fundamental Hydrating Primer. This is more like a gel-like formula. It's really lightweight, so if you have more normal skin, you can still use this because it's not going to be like overly hydrating where it leaves your skin oily. I do have drier skin, especially in the winter, but something that's more of a gel texture usually like seeps into my skin, and it feels like really refreshing going onto your skin. And they do have primers for like different types of skin, but this is the one that works the best for me, and it's also like super lightweight. I'm going to prime my eyes with the Fundamental Eye Primer. So this is what it looks like, and it's just like a more of like a moussey texture. I don't know why I put it on my 2 hands like that. Should have just done one. But I just blend it out, and then I'm going to set that with just a powder. To set my eyes, I'm using the Kill the Shine face powder. It's just a pressed powder. And I'm using the shade 2-3 Ivory Sand. This is a shade I'm also going to be using under my eyes. It's just like a shade lighter than my skin tone. And I'm also going for like a pretty simple, natural look with my makeup. So I'm going to do probably the majority of my face makeup before I move on to my eyes. And they do have a color corrector. You guys know I use a color corrector under my eyes every single day. So this is their Peach Under Eye Corrector. It's like a creamy formula, and it's not too oily and it's not too dry. Some color correctors, especially when they're too dry, like I can't blend them out, and it just like clumps up under your eye, and you could see it under your concealer, so basically makes it look worse than if you didn't use it. And I'm just going to apply it with their angled concealer brush. They also do have face and eye brushes, so I'm just going to take a little bit of the color corrector under my eyes, and then I always take what's left on my brush and I just apply it on my nose. I always find that that helps bring down the redness on my nose. And once it's on with a brush, I'm just gonna buff it out with a beauty sponge. So I'm gonna move into foundation, and they have two different types of foundation, a matte one, the Meet Your Matte foundation, and then a more radiant foundation. That's what I'm gonna use. It's their Bright Spark foundation. I've been loving this foundation. I use the shade number 4, also called Beige, and they have 10 shades in both of their foundation lines, from Porcelain to Mocha. So they do have 10 shades in both of their lines. They are going to be expanding their foundation range to have more shades in early 2018. They're a brand new brand, but they're going to be expanding more, which is awesome. This one, Beige, it's just dark enough for me. It's a little bit neutral for me. I prefer something a little bit more warm, but I'm going to warm up my face with like bronzer and everything. And then I'm just using their foundation brush to apply it. That way I get more of like a medium finish, and then I'm going to buff it out with a sponge afterwards too. And for a radiant foundation, this actually does have pretty good coverage. It's more like a medium to full coverage. And I've been into like a certain style of foundation lately, which is more coverage but feels like super lightweight, like a light coverage foundation. And I've been testing it out with different primers and different setting powders, and I always get a really like radiant finish but still a good coverage. So I just love that because it's just like, it looks like skin but you still get the coverage that you need, and it's super long wearing. I told you guys on Snapchat, if you follow me on Snapchat, I dance, and I had a dance show last weekend, and I put this foundation on at 8 a.m. and then I did 3 like full-length shows, and then I left the theater at like almost midnight, and my makeup stayed on all day, and I'm like hardcore like jumping through the air on stage like actually putting this to the test. And like, so that just shows you that it holds up, but it's still super comfortable and super breathable, because whenever I need to wear my makeup for a really long time, I'd rather it be comfortable than stay like perfect all day. But I was just really happy with how it held up, and I also had to change costumes like over and over and over, probably like 12 times throughout the day, and it didn't like transfer onto my clothes or anything. So I'm going to be using this. Oh, I actually did use this for my holiday looks for my blog and a video you guys will be seeing. Anytime I do like outfit photos, I always want a foundation that's going to stay in place, because I'm always changing to do like multiple photos in one day. And this is actually a really, really good match right now. Like, this matches my neck perfectly, so I don't need to mess with the shade or anything. When I first got these foundations, I had just come back from my Thanksgiving trip, and I was at the beach, so I was a little bit tanner, so I think my tan maybe faded a little bit, and this is like a spot on match, especially to my neck. It's like completely seamless. So if you guys are around my complexion, then check out this shade in Beige. And then I'm going in with their concealer. I've been loving their concealer. This is the No Flaws concealer. I use the shade number 45 Beige Tan. And this is more like, I don't like to use like a super brightening concealer. I like something that's like the same color as my skin, or maybe just like a shade lighter. And I usually do pretty lightweight concealers, and this one has a bit more of like a medium to full coverage, but it's more hydrating than some full coverage concealers, where if I have it sitting on my face like this, like it automatically sets and dries down really quickly. This one you can have a little bit of time to work with, which is great. And it looks really natural under my eyes. I've been wearing this concealer a lot, and I really like how it applies like on the center of my face. So it's really good at like covering up any redness. And I usually don't do like heavy face makeup, so that's why I really like this one, because it's definitely like more breathable. It doesn't feel heavy under your eyes, and it doesn't dry out under your eyes. And I usually have like a little bit of drier skin under my eyes naturally. I'm going to set my under eyes with the pressed powder, and then I'm using the multitasking face brush. This is awesome because you can use it under your eyes. You can actually use it for bronzer, and you can use it like in a lot of different ways, for blush, whatever you want. So I'm just using the powder under my eyes, and then I'm going to use a loose powder on the rest of my face. I'm just going to add a little bit of the pressed powder to the center of my face, since it is a lighter shade, just to kind of highlight. Then I'm using their Set the Stage loose powder on the rest of my face, just really lightly. I don't really powder too much, just to set the foundation So I'm going to move into my eyes, and something that I was so excited to try out when I first heard about COL-LAB is their eyeshadow palette, specifically this one in Get Ready With Me, because I was hearing Coffee Break with Danny talk about it, and I just thought the name was really cute. And of course, this is like a very staple, like neutral palette that has everything, like a matte shade to set your eyes, a couple transition shades, and a couple different shimmer shades. They're super pigmented. I think I'm going to use this shade on my lid. Show you guys a couple swatches of this one, and then maybe I'll use this one. I'm not sure yet. So these are super like buttery shadows. They apply really, really smooth. They're very consistent, so they don't like apply chalky or anything. If you do your makeup like in a hurry in the morning, like you have 2 minutes to do your eyeshadow and you're just gonna put on like 2 eyeshadows, this is a perfect palette because it has all the shades that you need, and you could get like really foolproof neutral looks with this palette. And I'm just using the lightest shade all over my eyes. I know I already put powder in my eyes, but I always like double powder my eyes anyways. I don't know why, I just always do this, and that way I can highlight my brow bone too. I'm just taking this light brown shade. It's matte and it's also warm, so this is like a perfect crease color for me. And I usually start the majority of my eye looks, regardless of the color, like I usually start them with a warm matte brown. Even if I do a cool tone look, I just love warm brown. So I'm just taking a little bit of this dark brown matte shade with the eyeshadow brush from COL-LAB. This is just a fluffy blending brush. So I'm just applying the shade in my outer corner and then a little bit into my crease. I don't want to carry it too far into my eye or too high into my crease. I'm just gonna pack this shade on, and then once I apply my lid color, then really blend it out. I think I'm gonna go with this lighter lid shade, maybe this one or this one. Let's go with this one. I haven't used this shade on my lid. I've used this one and I've used the bronzy shade. But let's go with this like champagne shimmer shade. Yeah, that's really pretty. I'm gonna apply it on my lid with my finger. Yeah, I really like this color. Haven't played with this shade yet. So I'm basically done with shadow. That was a really simple eye look. I'm just using my first transition brush to blend everything out. And then I'm just gonna use that blending brush to add a little bit more depth. All right, so that is a super quick and easy eye look, just using 3 shadows. That can take like 2 to 3 minutes. So I always go in with a shimmery brown gel eyeliner on my lower lash line every single day without fail, no matter what eyeshadow color I'm wearing. That's what I've been doing for like the past year, and I really like it. No matter what eye look I'm wearing, I just feel like it goes with everything. So I've been wearing this one. This is called their Bold Face Liner in the shade Ego. So it's just like a creamy gel liner, and I'm just gonna apply that on my lower lash line and then a little bit in my inner corner. Eyes are lined. I always like something that's a little bit more bronze and not like too dark brown, so it doesn't like close off my eyes. And I'm actually gonna use that copper shade that I didn't apply on my lid, so I could use it on my lower lash line. I just love like a shimmery color on my lower lash line too. I like to add a little bit of dimension with shadows, but I don't want anything harsh. So I'm going in with their Love Your Curls mascara. This is a curling mascara. The bristles are all intertwined, and it's gonna give you separation because it's not just like one length. So you're gonna get some volume, you're gonna get curl without clumping up your lashes. Okay, so my natural lashes look pretty long and curled, and I have like pretty long bottom lashes naturally nowadays. So I'm actually gonna leave my lashes like this and leave my eyes like this because it's more of a like a light eye look, so I don't wanna go in with falsies, and that way you guys can see how the mascara looks. I'm gonna zoom you guys out and then finish up with the rest of my face. All right, so now you guys can see what everything looks like so far a little bit better, and I'm actually really glad that I went with the lighter lid shade. I was planning on going with the darker copper color, but I'm glad I went with a lighter color because it opens up my eyes to just have a lighter lid shade, especially when I'm not wearing falsies. And I'm moving into bronzer. This is the shade Intoxicating. It's their Sculpting bronzer. I'm just going to go in a little bit of bronzer. I don't need too much face product on the rest of my face because my skin already looks really glowy. It doesn't look like super flat or anything. So I'm just adding a little bit of color to my face. I'm not being too precise. I never really do like a harsh contour. Maybe not never, but at least not today. So I just want a little bit of color. Next, this blush shade is awesome. It's called Sweet Surprise. This is their sheer blush, and you guys know I like really natural, pretty much like a nudie blush. This is definitely an ideal color for me because I like a really nude natural finish, but they also do have other blush shades if you want something deeper, want something brighter. This is like the perfect color that goes with absolutely every makeup look. Then I'm going in with their highlighting powder. This is the shade Uncensored. It's more of like a champagne light shade. It's a very like finely milled highlighter, so it goes on really naturally, but you can definitely get like a really nice finish with it. So it's not going to emphasize texture because it's so finely milled. And I like to use this on my cheeks and like all over as well. I'm actually going to apply, let me do a little bit in my inner corner just with a flat brush. So open that up a little, and maybe just a tiny bit on my brow bone. And COL-LAB has a bunch of different types of lip products. So they have lip glosses, they have lip liners, regular lipsticks, and then I'm going in with liquid lipstick. You guys know I love liquid lipsticks. This one is the shade Nonstop. It's like a pinky mauve nude shade. And the liquid lipsticks do go on really opaque, so they don't apply patchy or streaky or anything. They're super quick and easy to apply, and they are really matte, so they are going to stay in place for hours. So I really like the liquid lipsticks. I always wear liquid lipsticks. That's my preference, but they have a ton of different lip formulas as well. Alright, so this is the completed makeup look using all COL-LAB products. It was super fun to do a one brand tutorial, and thank you so much to COL-LAB for sponsoring this video and sending me all the products to test out and share with you guys. I've been testing these out for a couple weeks, and I wanted to share my favorites with you guys and just do a more natural look, especially because the complexion products are some of my favorite products and products that I keep reaching towards. And everything about COL-LAB will be linked in my description box if you guys want to check out any of the products. They will all be linked in my description box. You can find the COL-LAB products online and in store at Sally Beauty, and everything's really affordable, so you can test out a bunch of different products if you want to. And if you do spend more than $19.90 on COL-LAB products, you can get a free makeup brush from COL-LAB. The one that I would recommend to check out is the multitasking face brush, because you can use it for powder, for highlighter, for bronzer, for blush, basically everything on your face. So that is everything for today's video. Everything that I used will be linked down below. Sally Beauty will be linked down below as well if you guys want to purchase anything from the COL-LAB brand. And also all of the influencers that collabed on this brand, all 8 influencers, their social media channels will be linked down below as well. But that is everything for today's video. If you guys liked it, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll talk to you guys soon in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.